Joining us now on the way to the golf course, Kevin Millar, MLB Network analyst. 3 o'clock, Kevin, MLB Network's coverage, Minute Maid Park underway. 3 o'clock, you, Chris Rose, hosting Intentional Talk live at 5 Eastern. 3 o'clock call time, that means, are you getting 9 or 18 with Smoltz today?
No, 100% 18. Call times usually wait. I don't make any conference calls. I don't do any research. I just talk baseball, and I talk birdies and bogeys.
Now, because Smoltz is a Hall of Famer, does that mean you have to drive to the golf course? What's the etiquette there?
Etiquette actually is John Smoltz is a Hall of Famer. I'm a 1997 Portland Sea Dogs Hall of Famer. That's up there in Portland, Maine, Hadlock Field. They almost got me out in 1997. Go ahead and check the numbers. But that being said, Smoltz usually drives us because he's got more connections, way more connections than I will ever have.
Dang. Yeah, Smoltz, I'm sure, is tough on the golf course. Before we get to the game tonight, Dan Patrick, DNP, kidney stones. Did you ever have a teammate not answer the bell due to kidney stones?
You know what? No, they don't make them like they used to. You got to drink a lot of cranberry juice. And the one thing about Danny, he got real rich. He started shooting free throws. He's kind of a fake golfer.
Mm-hmm.
Good-looking young man. A lot of T-shirts with the Dan Patrick stuff. I still haven't even got one extra large, please, because I like it a little tight around the biceps. And to my left, I got this hot Italian also I didn't want to leave out. His name's Mark DeRosa. Played for 4.5, 5 different teams.
Great hair.
But really Cubs and Braves.
Wow. Now, we'll get you some medium shirts on the way. Before we get to Game 6, a lot of the guys in the room, as you know, we're 4 non-athletes. When Max Scherzer taps out due to muscle spasms in his traps and his shoulders, could you explain that and why it would hamper a pitcher so much?
Yeah, if you grab a couple 45 dumbbells and do some shoulder shrugs, that would be your traps. If you kind of lift up there for you non-athletes, so that's just grab some 45s and kind of go up and down. So those are traps. Have you ever gone to sleep and woke up and you can't turn your neck?
Yeah. Like
that little knot or your spasm, or you're like, oh, honey, can you rub this out? That's kind of that times 100. So it's a bad timing. I always feared that, and I'm not kidding you. Like even in these little golf events that we play once a year in Tahoe or Diamond Resorts, that like you're going to wake up with a bad neck because those are you look forward to that. And here's a stage that Max Scherzer, we all know, loves to be on. And he's a warrior and a bulldog, and I just really felt bad for baseball when we couldn't see that matchup of Scherzer and Cole in D.C.
Kevin, is that something you can shoot up like a football player does for Scherzer with cortisone?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know what the process is. If it's a lot of stem, ice, and maybe a cortisone shot, but I think so. I mean, cortisone's usually the answer for everything. Other than, a Spanish test. I could take cortisone in 10th grade when I failed Spanish, and I almost wasn't eligible for baseball. But I think we've all had cortisone shots. And for you guys in there, that room, I think you guys should try one. The needle's pretty thick, and it feels great.
Yeah. Shots.
Hey, Kevin, if you're the Nationals waking up this morning, what are you looking at to remind yourself that you're still in this series?
The bottom line is you got Strasburg, and when you have an ace on the mound and for an offense and for the team side of it, you feel better about yourself. So it's not like they're having to put this thing together, and it was a late scratch with Scherzer because you kind of, listen, Tyson Ross did great, did the best he could, but it's not Max Scherzer, and we know that. So as a team, you kind of get deflated. It's like a punch in the stomach. That's Joe Ross. Sorry. Thank you very much. I was totally corrected because I looked at Mark. I was a little insecure on that name. It didn't sound right. Joe Ross.
DeRosa with the save.
Yeah. Thank you very much. The thing is that they feel good having him on the mound. He has the ability to go out there and throw 7 innings, strike out 10 with 3 hits. Obviously, a lot of confidence in the Astros clubhouse coming back home. But there hasn't been a home team to win a game, so that's a positive.
No, we're more football guys. We love baseball, but we don't really get to see baseball clubhouses before the game. We see NFL locker rooms. In a big game like this, Game 6 of the World Series, does the manager on either team give a pregame pep talk speech, or is that strictly to football?
Yeah, there's no pregame pep talk speech by any means. It's just a boys' club. There should have been a show dinner last night. Somebody, whoever's rich in that club, needs to pick something up. You have some wine, you drink, eat some steaks, and you tell stories, but they know what they got to do. I mean, bottom line, they have not hit with runners in scoring position. Either home team has. That's what's hilarious. I don't know if it's, you get home, you're trying to do too much, but there hasn't been a home team to get a hit with runners in scoring position. There's been traffic. We just haven't seen that one moment. The only moment we're talking about is, like, should they have pinch hit Anibal Sanchez in Game 3, with a 2-1 game. at that time, but there hasn't been a moment. So I think you're just kind of waiting for a moment. And what's that going to be? Is it Strasburg tonight? Is it Verlander dominating? Is it Rendon? Does he hit a 3-run home run for the Nats to put him to Game 7? But we haven't had that moment that we could talk about.
So staying in the clubhouse then, are you even allowed to talk to Justin Verlander, or what do you say to him? I mean, he's got to be feeling a ton of pressure heading into this game. Do you just ignore him, or what?
Yeah, he's not feeling pressure. He's really rich. He's married to Kate Upton. They've had a child. Everything's fine. The only pressure he's having is going to have that surgery because he can't breathe with his nose, that sinus surgery. But that's the only surgery he's going to have to worry about. There's no pressure. And he look, these guys have been doing this for a long time. He hasn't had a W in the World Series, which is a little surprising when you saw those numbers. You're like, really? But this guy's a pro. He's going to go out there and execute what he does. The four-seamer, his slider's been a great pitch for him. Listen, the Nationals are going to have to do something, period, or they're going home and they're going to start barbecuing for Halloween. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They need to get in a hitter's count, click a home run. You got a smaller park. The ball carries out to right, left, and stay away from center.
Kevin Millar, MLB Network analyst, joining us. Also in the car, Mark DeRosa and John Smoltz, to be named later. Players to be named later. Verlander and Strasburg, Game 6, you assume they couldn't pitch in Game 7 under extreme situation, maybe. But are they used differently because it's Game 6 and there's nothing to do 2-3 days from now? Going longer, going shorter?
Yeah, I think your eyeballs are the test tonight. You can throw out all the paperwork and the UBR and the spin rates and all this baloney. You can go out there and just watch the game. And Strasburg might throw 137 pitches if he's feeling good. But, the one thing about the Nats is that they just need to figure out a way to kind of get a lead, and then you give it to Strauss, and hopefully he can take you to the promised land. But I think tonight is one of those games that you just kind of, all chips are on the table if you're the Nats.
All right, real quick, Chris Rose and you hosting Intentional Talk at 5 Eastern. Any chance you or Chris Rose flash the crowd tonight? It's catching on.
Yeah, you know what? I might do the show with my shirt off. I got the dad's body. And this is the thing. GQ came out. I don't know if you guys knew this. Dad's bodies are more attractive than the typical good abs of that kale eating body.
That's
so
perfect
I think
for you.
The gut hanging over the belt buckles, perfect for me. A little fried chicken, no problem.
All right, Kevin, everyone knows that you played for the Red Sox amongst other teams, but David Ross, I want to switch real quick. I'm a Cubs fan. David Ross is now going to be managing players he played with just 3 years ago. Could you imagine 3 years removed from winning a title with the Red Sox, you're in the clubhouse managing them? Could you imagine that?
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be a little weird at first, but I'll tell you this one thing about David Ross, and I use the word tickle bunny. He gives you the tickle bunny. He's nice to people. He's small. He's got a nice little 2-guard beard. It's a little gray. There's a few brown hairs left in it. He'll be going to bass scare, to Chester man, whatever he's going to do by the time this tenure's over. Point being is this: he also has the ability to get someone's you know what. So I don't think it's going to be as much as the whole tickle bunny thing. Spring training might be, but I know one thing. If he's got to address some issues, he's going to address some issues. David Ross, most of your catchers have that edge, and he's got that edge.
So, Kevin, it's a double standard here. Like, Dan gets to take days off, but the Danettes do not. Now, I grew up in Philadelphia. I'm a Phillies fan. Now that they've hired Joe Girardi, should I request the day off for the World Series parade now, or do I wait till closer to the actual date?
I would go ahead and wait till closer to the actual date. Wait till they sign Garrett Cole in this offseason, or Strasburg opts out for the Nats deal, and then he goes to Philly. I wouldn't start planning any parades because Joe Girardi's behind there. I think they need to go ahead and sign it, you guys. Then you call me in about 3 or 4 months after this free agency, which I think Boris has most of the players, so he probably won't sign until April 15th, so it's going to be a long free agent.
All right, that's it. Kevin Millar, MLB Network analyst. Thanks a lot. Say bye to Mark and John Smoltz for us. Dan will be back soon with you.
Well, let's let them say goodbye. Say bye, Mark.
Take care, guys.
Yep, John.
See you at the 68 after I shoot 68 today.
John's a little discouraged. He's got a bad attitude, guys. I got $300 I've been holding for about 3 rounds, so he's going to try to get it back today.
He's going to lift it off you and add to the pile. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Talk to you next time.
All right, boys. Thanks.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.